Hi everyone, it's Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is Fear the Walking Dead, episode number 2, complete recap. I want to thank all you guys for being here. I know we had a long day yesterday. We did Walking Dead Junkies, we did a countdown, and we did the reaction video. Tonight we're going to go through a lot of the events that we reacted to last night, but we're also going to throw a couple theories out there. I'm going to come out with some stuff that maybe you agree with, maybe you disagree with, but we're going to put it out there for debate. There's going to be a name, a blast from the past that I would not be surprised at all to hear from Fear, and it's not going to be who you think it's going to be. So stay tuned for that a little bit later on in the episode. I see that, did we have Valar a little bit earlier shouting out already? Valar's super happy because we did make the announcement yesterday that we are going to start doing some Game of Thrones stuff in a couple of weeks. So I know Valar is a huge, huge fan. Says, what's up to the 99 Army? Kills, Emmy, Steph, Kels, Bree, Sweet Tom. Sponsors and Patreons. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate that. Shout out to all the crew. Yes, we are going to talk dragons, and we're going to go beyond dragons. But before we get into the dragons, we've got to talk about just some things last night. I know there's already mad speculation about what's going on with Madison, so that will come up in the topic of conversation tonight, rest assured. So I'm going to go through just a few of my notes. I kept some pretty extensive notes from last night's episode. In addition, we did talk about the spoilers. But the baseball stadium is it definitely has a prison feel to it. It has that safety level. And we do remember that as soon as the group felt safe, then you've got the governor. And you still have to go out. You got to harvest. You got to find things. And I do like that they started out this episode with the assumption that the group has been comfortable. And they didn't really give us a lot of time to get comfortable. And I think that's important because we've been through it before, right? We don't have to have 3 or 4 episodes just to say, yeah, everything's good. They have vegetables. They got running water. I like the fact that they did it, and now they're saving that downtime that they had to give us some action and some excitement and some fighting and some enemies. And you might be surprised. These enemies might be at a whole different level. I mean, we did discuss briefly whether Fear the Walking Dead had the guts to do an epic scene like Negan's Lucille scene for Glenn and Abraham. Maybe they've got something up their sleeve that could compete with that. Give us something to talk about. Madison still showing leadership skills. I know someone had left a comment on a video, and I wasn't trying to be overly sarcastic, but they had said that Madison's not dying, she's the star of the show. And my comment's pretty straightforward. Said, I think star is debatable. She is the lead of the show. I was not real impressed with the first 3 seasons. So to say star of the show, I'm okay with her getting less airtime and spreading the wealth a little bit more. And I felt that in last night's episode, a big episode where they, showed that flashback scene, but they weren't afraid to share the screen. And that really resonated quite well with me. The Charlie story, how I guess I'm still kind of wondering, and maybe you guys can help me with this a little bit. How was Charlie communicating with the Vultures? Because I didn't really pick up on that. Maybe there was. I mean, Mel had a pretty extensive inventory. Birdseed. Using the radios? Okay, yeah, I must have kind of missed that. All right, gotcha. Okay, well, good. I'm glad you guys helped me with that because I completely overlooked that small detail. Turned out to be a pretty large detail. And, I mean, I guess she did have time. I don't think she sabotaged anything. I think that she did communicate it. Hey, they're having some trouble with food. Do you think that the Weevil incident is what accelerated the Vultures swooping in Yeah, I know. You know, with a name like Vultures, we're going to be full of puns. The puns are just going to be left and right. So, you know, they saw it as, hey, we better get this food or we better jump in before they start running through all their supplies. DD8, you think they sabotaged it? I don't know. I don't think they sabotaged the camp. I mean, it's still good food. That's a good point. I mean, Nick is a former drug addict. I just don't know. I mean, I don't know how much of his character is temptation and he can't fight the impulse, or how much is the fact that he's um, traumatized, or the fact that how many um, how much cognition he still has. I mean, even to look this up on the screen, he seems like he does have an understanding. I mean, he has some ability, but then he just goes in these moments where you question what he's doing. I guess I want his character just kind of loosen up a little bit, and it's not going to happen. I mean, we can't change everything, but he almost seems like he walks up to Charlie and is like, "Hey, hi, what are you doing?" I just want it to be a little more natural. Where, you know, Madison was just so parent protective. They had to really make her out to be that character. Now Nick is like, dude's like a space cadet. And I know some of you, Nick is your favorite character, but he's losing me a little bit. We're going to walk through a couple more things. I mean, clearly, Lucy has no problem going out, but Nick still cannot leave the protection. So let me get your thoughts and opinions here. What happened? What is Nick afraid of? You know, Madison did say, you weren't there when I found him. What state did she find him in? Deja Vu says Nick will make a comeback. I'm okay with that. Tommy V says fried. So it's a combination. PTSD, um, the long-term effects of the drugs. I mean, it's hit everything. Torture, afraid of losing people. Yeah, fragile. Um, so all of those things, I think, rolled up into one creates a um, pretty challenging situation. And I'm right there with you, Emmy. I've um, never fully attached to Nick's character or Madison's character. Maybe a little more to Alicia, to Strand. Um, so of the characters that are out there, and let's exclude Morgan, and I'll go through a little bit of a recap. Which characters do you personally tend to support or gravitate toward? Maybe that's a little different question than which is your favorite character. Like, I guess Madison somewhere 3 or 4 seasons down the road could do something great and I could change my mind and she would increase in popularity. But I still don't know that I could relate to her character a whole lot. A lot of Strand supporters. Maggie's just attached to new characters. Al and John. Funny. I mean, funny we were so hungry for new characters, right? That we supported the show, but we just needed that fresh blood to get in there. So I did like the Vultures are cleaning up the spare walkers, or the past, as John would refer to them as. So reminiscent of the Saviors. How many different Savior parallels did you guys see last night? Let's name a few. Or maybe not just Savior parallels. How many different Walking Dead parallels? I don't have a problem with it. I mentioned this in last night's stream. Many people didn't watch the reaction video, but if you're just catching this in the recap, I am perfectly okay with them imitating The Walking Dead with minor stuff and just getting us up to a certain point, because I do think there are some things that are going to be universal throughout all states and all instances. So they take your stuff. It's a good example. The drive up, playing music when they showed up. The Weevils, obviously, with the kingdom. Watch and evaluate before attacking. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities. And, this is the thing I threw out to the group. Just be patient with it a little bit. I mean, we wanted a better show, and I think imitating the old show is a good start. It definitely gets us into that. They have to do some things to get us into Walking Dead mode. And that is probably the history of fear. Because we know of The Walking Dead and we have that exposure, it didn't always feel like The Walking Dead. This season is starting to feel like it. Similarities to the Wolves. Janet C. says, human behavior is the same everywhere. You get the same characteristics in both the good and the bad and the desperate. Well said. Tanya, great point. If they imitate but improve on the mistakes, I'm cool with that. And I do think they've done that to a degree, right? I mean, some of the scenery looks like The Walking Dead, some of the references are like The Walking Dead, and it seems like they're adding a few more advancements, like this group is better at some stuff. Rick, they were struggling with things. And then you have Terminus, and you have the prison, and you have, all these pitfalls they keep running into. They go to Alexandria, and they can't even get into D.C. In the comic book, they went through D.C. All right, let me get to a few more of the call-outs that, I thought somebody said last night it wasn't a silo. What is it? It's big tube, I guess. It looks like a silo of some sort. Whatever it is, we're going to call it a silo. How'd you guys feel about that scene? I liked it. I was good with it. Yeah, she did back into almost into the hole, and it looks like it broke off a little bit. I'm not going to pick apart coincidence, because I thought the scene was so good that I'm okay with how they sort of did it. There's a little convenience to it, I guess. An oil tank. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. Oil tank. Oil drums. Good enough. All right. Okay, I won't refer to them as silos anymore. Silos hold grain. So, yeah, oil tank. They did, and by they I mean Madison and Alicia, made a very quick assessment that Naomi was harmless. because they did still chase a woman with a gun, and Alicia set down her gun. So they're fine. I mean, I guess you only have to be wrong once in that situation. If Naomi was a loose cannon, then Alicia might have regretted it. So I did find it a little convenient that they're just so good at reading people that they knew, like, Naomi's not going to shoot me. And then Naomi did back toward the hole, and I guess the top of the oil drum broke. And Madison wastes no time. She's going in after her. But when you get through all that, I thought the scene was cool. And then the fact that the next scene, Madison had like the little bit of the brunette look, I thought that was cool too. I think that might be a little foreshadowing that maybe Madison's due for a change. A little different haircut, a little different hairstyle. Jake says a change is in dead. That's classic. Well, we don't know where Naomi's from. Madison did ask, and she sort of changed the subject a little bit. That would be a little too much if the Vultures infiltrated with Charlie and Naomi. How about any relevance, any Easter egg to... I didn't go back and find out the Little Prince book. Is there... I guess A, I need to find out if that's a real book. And B, if there's a story, if there's a moral or something that will be taught in that. It just seemed like... And I got to be honest, I didn't watch Talking Dead. They may have put something on Talking Dead, like, did you know the book is a real book and did something. So, do any of you have experience with the Little Prince book? Is it okay? It's about there you go. You know what? We've got mad research. DDA is going to get some points. Because these are the things I should have researched, but I knew some of you would. So DDA Ohio says it's about being alone and surviving on your own. It's appropriate. So very, very good book picked out. And Charlie may end up in that situation because she's learning how to betray people at a very early age. I did mention in the reaction video last night, I love the oil drum scene. It was there's some good senseless action in Fear the Walking Dead this year, where I just gotta just put all my rationale to the side and say, that's cool, I want to watch that. And I like that sort of entertainment, even though I do like to dissect the episodes as well. But of all the things that happened last night, no joke, when those trucks, when Lucy said, ditch the truck, I could feel the panic in her voice, and I knew, like, it was dark and it was perfect, and those headlights of that truck coming around the corner got my heart racing. It was it was more. I haven't seen a moment like that even in The Walking Dead in a long time. It was kind of cool to see that. Wow, there's an enemy and they're here already. They didn't waste any time. Pete D jumping in with a super chat. And mods, if you can just kind of check that out, because Pete may have a follow-up comment, and I definitely want to read it, but it's probably going to be something along the lines of Tara needs to die, or, you know what, Pete, if you could pick one character from Fear the Walking Dead, I'm going to put the super chat spotlight. Oh, you know what? I got a good idea for something in the future. I'm going to call it a super chat spotlight. And it's going to be where we're going to take one of the super chats and sort of flip the script a little bit. So, Pete, the super chat spotlight is on you. If you could pick one character from Fear the Walking Dead that you would write off the show, which character would it be? Oh, he wasted no time. Nick. He's getting Nick. So, Pete, follow-up question. From a scale of 1 to Tara, how badly would you like to see Nick leave the show? A 4. Okay. Not quite Tara mode, but all right. Good follow-up, and thanks for the response. Appreciate that. There were, I guess, probably 4 what I thought really, really cool scenes last night, and not a whole lot of filler, which was great for me. So, you know what? Actually, maybe 5. I'm going to have to go back and count them. The ghost town with Strand and Lucy really took me back to The Walking Dead. So that was the tone setter for me. The oil drum scene was just cool because I like the way they opened it. I like the panic. I like, getting kind of all sloppy and fighting walkers in the middle of oil. I thought that was cool. The headlights pulling up and all the trucks in the RV was mysteriously spooky to me. The bicycle was creepy, and the music was almost like a traveling circus, like an evil clown circus. What are they going to do with these walkers? Are they going to attack? The lawn chair, just how relaxed they are and how casual it is, just sort of go over and take people's stuff. So the bicycle and it had all the elements of creepy and creative. Creepyative, I guess, if we want to make our own word. But they know their business, and they just want to show off, right? They watch what we can do and look what we developed. So there was that. It had a Five Nights at Freddy's vibe to it. That's what it is. I felt like it was this jump scare that was going to happen to me at any moment. And then I think probably the 5th part is when we got to present day. And we realized that there's this mystery and there's this drama continuing to happen that's in color. And I like that they go black and white for the past, or actually, they were going color for the past and black and white for the future. Which is odd because this picture that they post is in color. Huh. They're doing some stuff to me on Fear the Walking Dead. Anyway, I like the fact that they're time skipping back and forth, because where I mentioned earlier, I just want some of that kind of senseless, non-thought out action at times, but then there's other times that I want sort of the plot and the bigger picture and what are they doing. And last year and the years before, they told a story and answered a story pretty much on the same episode. They just didn't have a lot of story to tell. You know what I mean? Like, okay, here is Taka, and this is what's going to happen. And by the end of the episode, you pretty much know everything. There's not even a small cliffhanger. And then I was not excited going into the next week. And now, I want to get to the mid-season finale because I think the mid-season finale is going to be cool, and they're going to drag us along and make us want more. Good point. Deja Vu says, you're afraid of the walkers. We're not. We have a system. Tanya's a male fan. So, MEL. I'm going to throw a crazy theory out there. I've been known for a few theories from time to time. And then they get mixed in predictions, and then they get drawn into spoilers. Jeff Grimes. I'm going to throw it out there. All right, maybe I'm wrong. I can be completely wrong. I'm okay with that. But this is the way I would write Fear the Walking Dead. And I don't want to change what they're doing because I think they're doing a hell of a job so far. But I'm going to say, bold prediction. Rick's little brother, Jeff Grimes, what if he's not in Barcelona? What if he went to Texas? Imagine the story. If Morgan is the link between the two Grimes. I know there's the prediction that maybe Madison is related to Rick. But what if Jeff Grimes has the evil empire? And Morgan finds out, and the two come together, or they mix in the Commonwealth at some point. Would that not be crazy? Would that be bold? You talk about the ultimate crossover, and people have been wanting to see Rick's brother for the longest time. Maybe they were from Alabama, maybe they're from Georgia, and hey, one got stuck here, one got stuck there and went west. Morales made a scenic route all the way up to Virginia. Morgan meets Rick's brother, and Morgan's the only person that knows. Right? He's not going to walk up and say, hey, by the way, I was hanging out with your brother. I mean, like Morgan would have that dark secret, and he would be the one to sort of crack the code. That's what I'm talking about. See, you guys are feeling this vibe. If it happens, and they write it into the show, I think I should get a royalty from AMC. I think Bob Kirkman should give me a call and say, hey, Kills, let's talk about what you can do to hype this group up. Because I'm telling you, I would take off the gloves and I would write it up. I'd probably call him Bob. We'd be on a first-name basis. So, anyway, drum it up a little bit. I think that would be the ultimate storyline is we got Mr. Rick leading the Alexander group, leading everybody up, taking care of his people, fighting the evil enemy, the Saviors, and then his brother is on the opposite side of the spectrum. Taking. Rick doesn't want to be captive, and he wants everybody to have their own opportunity. And then Brother Jeff's out there doing what Negan does. Sergeant Chosen One wants me to go on the record. No. I won't officially outline it as a bold prediction. It was just it was a fun thought. But there's a method to my madness here. So I did that because we do bold predictions, and I want to introduce you to we're obviously going in a couple different directions. Tomorrow we will do random things, and it's going to be our second season of doing random things. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. We made the announcement that we're going to start talking about Game of Thrones. We're going to have a Game of Thrones stream in about 2 weeks. That's going to happen in May. And then the third is a brand new segment we're going to start doing, and it's called What If? And we're going to take these scenarios. They're not going to just be bold predictions. They're going to be somewhere in between theories, fantasy, things that we would like to see happen. What if certain things happen scenarios? Because we love to analyze. We love to dig down. And I've gotten so many requests to kills. Can you do Avengers streams? Can you do Stranger Things? Can you do Lost in Space? And we can't do everything. But one thing that we can do is we can do what-if scenarios, and that'll be able to incorporate a lot of stuff that we talk about. So wanted to throw that out there. So chosen one, I am not going to fully go on board and say that's a bold prediction. I'm going to say it is a solid what if that happened. So that's a little bit of what's going on. We are at 33 minutes. Let me go back through my notes and see if we've got a couple extra things that we want to talk about. We did kind of broach this topic last night. I'm going to ask the group again. You've had 24 hours to sort of think about it. Is Mel the leader of the Vultures, or is there possibly a bigger fish in the food chain? And where is my enforcer? Tommy McCandless? We need to get some people on this like button. I gotta find my mod. Speaking of random things, if you guys are reading the mod chat tonight, it's pretty random. I don't know. I don't know some of the stuff that's being typed right now. I feel like we got about 5 different streams going on. This might be a random thing. Emmy says no, he's not. He's a Simon. Fluff says bigger fish. Janet C says right hand. Tammy Heitzman used the word puppet. Darren says Daniel. I don't know. I don't see Daniel running that type of operation. And Tammy says, and I think the leader is a female. Very possible. Poster boy for good haircuts. Drama King, Kills, do you like Badlands? I would probably like it. I've never watched it. It's on a night where I'm doing a lot of live streams. So looks like a very good show. But yeah, we can't get into everything. Captain Crawfish wants to know, are we going to see a Ride the Lightning 999 shirt? We could probably use the phrase, and it wouldn't be copyright infringement. But that's probably not the next one that you'll see. It does appear, based on our Facebook poll, that Lucille the like button is the most popular way to acknowledge that we have 999 Army members that need to hit the like button. So instead of slap the like button, I'm going to ask the 999 Army at this point to Lucille that like button. And thanks to all the people that voted. So you'll probably see a t-shirt available. That's a great, Captain Crawfish, that's a great segue into just letting people know some of the things that we are going to jump into. So tomorrow night, as we mentioned, we're going to revamp Random Things. We are starting our brand new season with that. It's going to be every Tuesday night. It will be as random as some of the moderator chat tonight, so stay tuned. Buckle your seatbelts. We go off on a lot of different tangents when we get to Random Things. Wednesday night, we will do our bold predictions for Fear the Walking Dead. Thursday, we're going to jump into some spoiler chat, and then either next Thursday or the week after, we will start the Game of Thrones news, and I'm going to go back and do some more binge watching. I've watched through it once. I'm going to have to really get up to date because some of you are extreme experts. So you're going to keep me on my toes for sure. And of course, just let everybody know on Sundays, that's kind of a big day for us. Sundays is The Walking Dead Junkies at 12, 8 o'clock's our countdown. And then depending on what Talking Dead is going to do this season, if Talking Dead's going to continue to be on at 11, we're going to continue to do our streams at 10:20. If they flip-flop the Badlands and Talking Dead, then we'll do a little later stream. So that's kind of what's up. And Kale will be posting a seasonal calendar in the very near future if you guys are on the Walking Dead 999 Army page. Darren says, hey, what do you think happened to Proctor Joe? Ran off. Is he moving to Texas? I just don't know that they need to ramp that group up again right now. And I mean, to me, that would be. I think I stated this last night. Proctor Joe and that group and the Vultures, they left, and then here it is. They're familiar with them again, and they call themselves. I just don't see it happening like that. I think that's a tired storyline. They need new villains. They need new characters, and they did say that you could start watching Fear the Walking Dead as a standalone series and not have to really get into the history of it. And I like that. I like the fact that I don't need to know what happened in Season 2 and Season 3. But thank you for that question. And I think that's a pretty thorough recap. We went through most of the bullet points. Definitely the highlights. I do want to look for a few more Easter eggs because I think they're putting them out there for us this season. So stay tuned for that. We'll look for any type of callbacks or any issues. And I know next week, after we do the reaction video, that'll be something I'll kind of call on many of you and say, hey, did you catch this? You catch that? Because I do think that they're going to drop these, or we call them breadcrumbs, I guess, as well. But just something that we're going to add to that. Hold on, I'm reading a couple comments here. All right, we've got, this is like this is half Fear the Walking Dead complete recap and a prelude into random things. So, all right, everybody, let's wind this thing down and let's get prepared for tomorrow night. So if you had a good time tonight, slap that like button, Lucille the like button. Hopefully we see you at 9:30 tomorrow. We probably will throw a Walking Dead topic into there, and I know many of you voted for some things that you want to talk about, so I'll pull one of those as well. It'll be 5 or 6 random topics. I can't tell you the rest because I really don't want you to prepare for it. I want you to kind of be caught on the spot. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. We're going to wind this thing down. If you're watching the playback, this is the this is the super chat. If you're watching the playback, we're getting ready to go into the closing credits. However, Valar is asking a pretty important question. And this is for the totality of the season. So, Kills, do you think Morgan will stay with them or try to move on? Morgan's tried to move on, I think, already maybe 3 times in the first episode. So I think Morgan is going to stay with them. Rick did say that you're going to be around people, but the fact that he's crossing over, I don't think they crossed him over to be there for half the season. I think Morgan's going to be the star of the show. So I'm going to give one more super chat spotlight, and I'm going to focus in on Valar's question. So, and I'm going to have a 2-part question. Number 1, do you think that Morgan will stay with Fear for multiple seasons? And number 2, do you think Morgan will start to be the star of the show? Do you think Morgan will start to steal the thunder away from other people because we do have that Walking Dead attachment? We've got some yeses. It was a 2-part question. Yes and no. AJ Jepson says he'll go where Cowboy John goes. Ron Burgundy says 1 season. Rublev doesn't have a choice. Well, he's injured, right? Villar thinks he'll steal the thunder. I do too. And he's a phenomenal actor. Ooh, Maggie says Morgan and John will be Rick and Daryl. I love that. We're reading some of these. Crawfish, that's a hell of a reason for a super chat. 5 more minutes. I'm not tired yet. I love it. We've covered every topic and given a complete recap, so they're going to have to be speculation questions. If you guys want 5 more minutes, then you have to give me some material. That cracks me up. 3 more seasons. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with 3 seasons, and Morgan in a sane role definitely has a lot of story. The clear mode is a little tough to follow him in the hallucinating, but I think when he followed the guy and realized that it wasn't Jared, do you think that was the turning point? That he's proven that he's okay again? Tanya says Morgan will find Madison turned. That'll be tough since Morgan doesn't know Madison. There would have to be a lot of story that would have to take place and a lot of explaining. Unless Nick's just keeping Madison around, turned. I don't know, that might be a little creepy. That'd be way too much Governor-esque. Keeping chained up walkers, family members. Lindsay Luke says, Kills, do you think Madison is dead? That's the $1 million question at this point. I like that I don't know, and I like that they're leaving it a mystery, Lindsay. I'm really cool with The Walking Dead making me or Fear the Walking Dead making me wonder about something. You know what? I can't really take a stand one way or the other. I could see it playing out either way. Either she's gone and all this is happening and this is her season leading up to it. It would show that they're not afraid to kill a main character, which I would be super cool with. And it would give a chance to other people to step up and do, I think, a better job. So, and as a follow-up, a lot of people are going to watch the playback on this, and this may not be the most popular opinion. It's widely accepted by many. Madison's character did not do a good job. And if you like Madison, I'm sorry that I feel that way, but I can't sugarcoat it. I like her as an actress, and I think they could have done it differently. I don't like her character. I can't relate to it. I don't like it. It bothers me. They either needed to change it or they needed to kill her. One of two things. They can't continue to let that tired approach and I got to take care of Nick and I got to take care of my daughter and it was too much. They put it on way, way too thick that it not only annoyed me, it annoyed many, many people. And that feedback got all the way back to the writers and to the producers. So they can't keep doing something that they know irritates a lot of people. So killing her would solve that problem. Changing her and giving her, I do like in the previews how they said, we're tired of running, we're going to do this. So I saw a little bit of, they really honed in on Madison's toughness, which I did like, but got rid of the excess baggage. So if they do that, then I'm right there with you. And maybe not the most popular exit, but Crawfish, I have hit my 5-minute quota. So see, I did that just for you. Thank you. Appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate that last super chat in there. Hopefully you're tired now, but if not, then we'll do something to make you tired tomorrow. This is the closing credits. Thanks, everybody, and those people are still here in chat right now. Slap the like button and give me a quick 999 because I want to do as many shout-outs as I possibly can. I missed a lot of shout-outs last night, so we'll see who we can recognize before we close this thing out. So I want to say what's up to Maurice Gamble, Skull Crusher 69, Valar, thank you so much, Lamar Lanham, Beth Brigette, AJ Jepson, Hippos in the House, Rublo's Channel, Tommy V, Tanya Dockstader, Cammy, my moderators, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kells, the Patreons that are here, the sponsors that are here. Newest sponsor, I haven't updated the screen just yet, but Michelle M is a new sponsor, but our sponsors, Wilson, Pete D, Vonda, Walking Dead, Nerd 13, Jason Mixologist, the Super Chatters, thank you so much, appreciate not only your comments, but also your contribution to this channel. Valar, OU Crawfish, all of you guys, thanks for everything that you do. Darren Vega, thanks, appreciate the chat. Good dialogue from you, Darren, tonight. Appreciate your comments. Maggie B. Who else we got here? Captain, is that a follow-up? Thank you for the 5 minutes. Love me some moderators. I love it. You know what? By the time I get through shout-outs, you're going to get 6 minutes. 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, you're on. You know what? We'll probably, if you want just some casual singing and some old school rap R&B, tune in for Random Things tomorrow because it might happen. You just never know what's going to happen. Mighty Mo, thanks for being here. Ron Burgundy in the house. Sergeant Chosen One, Graffiti Saint, B Loves 999, and The Walking Dead. Fluff Salisbury, BK Harp, thank you so much. Drama King, I will binge watch Badlands at some point. Bumblebee Brown, thank you so much, Bumblebee. Bumblebee. What just happened there? Bumblebee Brown. Enunciated kills. Julia Drums, thank you so much. Julia Drums, love some 999. We love you too, so thank you. Appreciate you being here, being a part of this channel. Ron Nicky, thanks so much. Gina Crockett. Eric C. Melinda Kettler, DDA Ohio. Lindsay Luke, thanks so much, Lindsay. I know you didn't watch Fear, but if you guys still have any doubts, I'm telling you, the first 2 episodes, if you haven't watched them, are good. They're definitely worth watching this season. I'm a fanboy. I'm going to hype it up. We're going to hype up Fear. By the time we get to the mid-season finale, I think it's going to start to be scaling up. It's going to be trending. Ruiner 187, what's up? KCF, thanks for being here. Crawfish is doing, like, he's in rare form tonight. Like, he's asking for probably, I don't know, would that be Bob Seger? Like some old-time rock and roll? The kind of music that just soothes your soul? I think he's reminiscent about the days of old. But yeah, you know what? Whatever. Crawfish, make some dedications, whether it's the Love Line tomorrow night or whether it's hip-hop, R&B, techno, whatever you want. I'll do something for you, okay? That's, we'll hook that up. No, karaoke with kills is not going to happen. I've gotten a lot of requests for that because I think it'd be entertaining, like for about half of one episode, and then it would get tired fast. It's better to throw it out there in Random Things because it is very random. All right, I know I missed a ton of shout-outs tonight. I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. I'm not going to do Mindless Love, so I will not do Diana Ross and Lionel Richie, no matter how many times you super chat. It's just not going to happen. All right, everybody, we're going to wind this thing down. If I missed you in a shout-out, leave it in the comments once this video goes live. Also, leave a lot of comments, share the video, tell a lot of people that we'd love to have them as part of the 999 Army. I'll talk to you later. Peace.